Hey legend, welcome to another episode of The Rich Mystic Man. And in this episode, it was a little bit different. I went live on my Instagram page and I was sharing a training and it was called Reclaim Your Nuts, aka Manpower, stepping into the unknown and your journey to six figures. Now, I reflected on my journey from, cracking the code and sort of making those first few sales and, hitting that sort of 10K per month, six figure per year mark, and some of the key points that really supported me on that journey. So enjoy and look forward to supporting you to crack the code and taking your business to a whole other level. Big love. Hey man, welcome to another episode of The Rich Mystic Man. Today coming to you live with Reclaim Your Nuts, aka Manpower. Stepping into the unknown and your journey to six figures and beyond. And today I'm going to be reflecting and sharing some pivotal parts of my journey. Mainly the last decade as an entrepreneur, and I dare say the last decade is when things started to really speed up. And did I do six figures as a PT? When I was a PT, my first entrepreneurial journey as a personal trainer, I think I did. I can't even remember, but I would have. I was doing okay money, but things really started to accelerate when I got started with my online business, my direct selling business, and it was a rocky start. And I had some ups and downs, and I'm going to share some key pieces. And if you've heard my story before, tune in because there's nothing like repetition. I remember listening to a John DeMartini CD. This is maybe 12 years ago. And I listened to this. It was a 1 hour presentation that John DeMartini delivered at one of his events. And I listened to it hundreds of times. It was just so fucking good, and I got so much value from it, and it was just that repetition, and I was able to quote, and I think I really feel like listening to that on repetition really instilled some of his mindset, his way of being, Dr. John DeMartini, which had an influence on me, and so there's nothing like repetition, and also I'll be sharing it from a different perspective, and there's always different insights. And there's no accident that you're here. So trust that you're here, put away distractions, and get focused, because when you're truly present, and I'm going to help you through this broadcast on how to become super present, because the more we can be really present with what's going on within, then we begin to really trust in what's happening, regardless of what's happening, good, bad, ugly, shitty, fucked up, wanted to hit my dog type of stuff, anything that arises is learning to understand that it's there for you. It's part of the journey. So be super present, take you through just a simple little process now that can help you just to really drop in. And when you can be in your body rather than trying to think and understand and take notes, and not saying don't take notes, but sometimes we're too much in our head. But if you can just sit there, really be in your body and allow yourself to really receive what's being shared, and knowing that the six figure journey for me, stepping into the unknown, is something that I did that a decade ago. We cracked six figures, and I've gone on to build multiple seven figures. So I'm embodied in the six figure mark, and to me, six figures is, I don't know how people don't live on more than six figures. Part of me is just do it. Six figures is nothing too crazy, but I also respect where you're at, because I remember before I did six figures, I was like, man, if I could just, I remember when I started my direct selling business, I was actually living at home with my mum, and I was like, you know what? If I could just make $1,000 extra a week, $1,000 a week, that would change the game for me. And, it did back then. And so I can absolutely relate to where you're at. So if you're just sort of starting out and, you know, you're wanting to crack that 6-figure mark, then listen up and I'll share a couple little key points. But let's drop in. So quite simply, close your eyes, keep them open. Depends what you're doing. If you want to watch, it's fine. You don't have to close your eyes. It's not important. Sometimes I like to, sometimes I like not to. But just becoming aware of just put your hands on your chest if that helps, or your hand on your heart, and just breathing and just feeling your hands on your body, and at the same time feeling your body on your hands, and just feeling your body relax, drop in, moving your awareness from your head to your heart, and just being here now, taking a deep breath in and relax. Easy. How long did that take? A minute. So the more we can do that, the more we can train ourselves, the more we really, because there's this intrinsic energy or life force that's trying to come through you, trying to communicate to you. And if we can really be with that and aware of that and open to that, receptive to that, and respond from that space, we're always being guided. I was trying to think of another word. I was like, I think guided's the only one. So we're always being guided in that direction, right? So let me cast my mind back to when I realized I didn't want to be a personal trainer, and there's being committed to something. And so I respect commitment, and I'll talk about that in a moment because it's a really key element, being committed to creating success and going to 6 figures and 7 figures and beyond. It's a key element. And so commitment also can run its course. So you can be overcommitted, or you can be undercommitted, or you can just be committed, right? So the over and the under, they can wreak havoc, right? And so under commitment's like, you know, you never really stick to anything. You're always giving up. You try something for a month, it doesn't work. You're like, this is too hard. You're always changing your mind. You're unreliable. Overcommitted is when, you know, like you'll stay in a job for 50 years, even though you hate it, just because, you know, you said you were going to be there, and the job's, you know, paying you a bill, and it's like you're a person that, you know, never gives up. So either side, one is like, you know, you're not really committed and giving something a chance to actually, for you to break through and for the gifts to be there, and for those the gifts to be to move through you and to reveal themselves. And they're being overcommitted is like, man, like fucking give it a rest, do something different. Like you don't have to keep, you know, beating your head against the wall doing something that you hate, right? So we want to find that middle ground, you know, where you're like, you're committed, you know, you're all in, you're showing up, doing the thing. And the thing with leaping into the unknown, as the title represents in this training, is that leaping into the unknown is really trusting and showing up and taking action in a direction of something that only you can see, because only you can see it. No one else can. You know, like I live with my wife, and she's beautiful, and I love her, and we do amazing things together, and she gets me more than anyone else does besides myself, right? But even when I'm sharing some of my vision, she doesn't get it. She doesn't see it. And that's okay. And sometimes it's frustrating. I'm like, can't you fucking see this, man? You know, and she's like, and she doesn't see it. So she'll see it at the right time, or she'll see it when it's created. So leaping into the unknown is trusting and taking action and showing up in the direction of your vision and something that only you can see. So I was a personal trainer, and it's interesting because as I was a personal trainer, I did personal training for maybe 4 years, and personal training was the thing that got me on the path of like understanding personal development. So when I went to my PT course and I was learning to become a personal trainer, I was making this transition from employee to entrepreneur. And one thing that was impressed upon me by the course instructors, a dude by Benny B. Huge, and they opened me up to the idea of personal development and wealth creation. And I remember something that Be Huge said was, how funny is the PT names? Be Huge, Benny Be Huge. I was Can Do Clint. So one thing that Benny Be Huge opened me up to was like, you can do or become or have or create anything you want. It's about like setting your focus, your intention, getting to work, getting immersing yourself with the right knowledge, learning the skill sets, and surrounding yourself with the right people, the right environments, and taking the right action in the direction of what you want to create. And you can do, be, or have whatever you want in this lifetime. And I was like, come on, bro, really? No. But I was like, okay, with this dude, I like this guy. He's funny, he's charismatic, he's successful in business. He drove a Ferrari. I was like, all right, okay. Well, like everyone's writing in the thing, Australia, New South Wales, Nelson Bay, Corlette, Airbnb, outside in the sun. That's epic. Installing an AC in someone's apartment in St Kilda, Melbourne. Nice. So that's funny. So yeah, he impressed that upon me, and I was like, I don't know. But I was like, I was gullible enough to give it a crack. I was like, you know what? Let's give it a try. So I started reading books. I started reading like Think and Grow Rich, How to Win Friends and Influence People, the magic of thinking big. And you know what? My life changed so quickly. It just opened up so much more for me, and I started seeing possibility and potential. And I started being conscious of what I was saying to myself. And I started to really stretch and put myself into more uncomfortable situations. And as a personal trainer in my own business, I really took the leap. A lot of people were like working in their job, doing it part-time on the side. I was like, I don't want to do that. I just want to go all in. I just want to do it. I'm ready. I'm keen. Let's go. So I quit my job. I had a credit with $4,000 credit on it available. And I was like, that's all the money I had. I was like, I need to make it work. And it didn't take me long to get a bunch of clients, and I was making almost the same amount of money I was making in my job. It was maybe like $1,800 a week or something like that. It wasn't that much, but it was enough to like pay the bills and pay my rent. And I had my little credit card there that I would use for business expenses and things like that. So, but things started to open up for me. I went from this like super nervous, shy. I was really like very introverted, and I still feel some of those things now today, but I started working on myself and started to get comfortable in communicating with others. And I remember going to this retreat. It was called Life Design. It was a 7-day thing. And this was my first ever like retreat personal development experience that I'd been to. I'd read books and things prior to that. And this was a 7-day thing. It was called Life Design. I was working on all different areas of your life, from business to spirituality to finances to health to relationships, etc. I was down in Sydney, and I went there, and there was like a fire walk, and we're breaking like spears on our necks and chopping. I think we did it. We didn't chop wood with our head, but chopping wood with it. It was all that sort of like real empowerment, personal development, like crazy thing. It fucking changed my life. It was the most profound few days of my life. Like it really. I went in there so timid and so scared of being there. So like one of the last days, I was up on the stage with the mic in front of 100 people doing an auctioning off these paintings and things that people had came in. And I was like, who the fuck am I? Where did this guy come? And I discovered that the guy was always in there. I was always in there, but I hadn't given myself permission to shine, permission to do the thing and have the confidence to back myself when I had something I wanted to say, something I wanted to share, something I wanted to contribute, a creative idea, a business idea, an action, a direction, something I wanted to do. I hadn't trusted myself. I wasn't backing myself. And so here I am like on the stage, and it scared the shit out of me, but I felt so alive and so proud of myself for like having the courage and the balls and just the transformation to go, wow, man, I was up on the stage. I was doing this like auction, and I just volunteered and got up there, and it just happened. And all of a sudden I'm on the mic on the stage, and I'm like, wow, like that, like I wouldn't have done this 3 days ago before going to this retreat event experience. And so I came back from that event, and I was a changed man. And as a personal trainer, we always did things in 90-day sprints. It was like, a 90-day transformation with people who come in. I would get them in for a 12-week program, a 12-week split. And so I applied the same approach to my business. I said, all right, cool. I wanted to go I was doing maybe 15 sessions a week, and I was like, I want to get to 60. 60, I was charging $66 a session. You know, it would have been, I don't know, it was about $3,000 or something like that. I was like, it's $3,000. Can you imagine that every single week? I was like, shit, that's my goal. Let's do it. Let's get there. And I got into what I now call rich mode. Back then, I didn't call it rich mode. I didn't really know what it was, but I got engaged. I got excited. I got relentless. I stopped giving a fuck what other people thought about me, and I just showed up for my vision. I showed up for my goal. I was like, I have this goal, and I'm not stopping until I get there. And I just got goosebumps as I shared that, because that's the energy you're in. You know, when you got the goosebumps and you like feel like this is the right path, this is the right track, right? That's an energy that you cultivate. That's a energy to show that you're showing up for yourself, that you're living from your heart. You're being courageous. You're doing the thing. You're not letting life beat you up and beat you down. And it emits a certain energy. So when I was out and I was like, let's go. And this retreat had really changed my life in a really profound way. Everyone noticed that, yeah, it really shook things up. It shook me from the inside out. And so when I was out, and you know how I would find clients? You know what I did? My strategy? I would go down to Brisbane. We had a studio in Spring Hill. We'd go down to Brisbane. I'd go with a business partner of mine, and we'd just find a building. We'd jump in the lift. We'd go to the top floor. We'd jump out of the top floor, and we'd just talk to any person that was there. We'd go to all the offices. We'd offer complimentary sessions. We'd get people into the gym. I'd make them an offer, and I just did that day after day after day after day. Now, how do you think I felt going out into these buildings? You know, did I really enjoy it? Not really, but I had to do it. And I went from this really shy, timid person that couldn't sell. I had to learn how to sell. You know, I'd come from just an admin role prior to that. And all of a sudden I'm like, you know, door to door, essentially, just talking to people on the streets. But within 90 days of doing that, I was fully booked, 60 sessions. I hit my 60 sessions a week. Because prior to that, I was really playing small. I was distracting myself. I was avoiding it. I wasn't doing the things that I said I was going to do. I wasn't truly committed. I hadn't really been all in. I hadn't really been in. I wasn't all in. Because when you really engage, when you really get jacked and get into rich mode, it carries a certain frequency, a certain energy. Women on this call, please tag a brother, tag some men. Let's get this training out to the men in the world. I'm on a mission to activate the rich mystic man within the man community and see more men stepping into their power, claiming their stakes, having more money. So there's a lot of good brothers out there, and there's a lot of good brothers that are struggling. And I know these good brothers, that they had a successful business and they activate rich mode, then their relationship's going to be better. They're going to make a better influence and impact on their children. They're going to be, you know, a better role model within their community. They're going to make more money, and that money, they're going to do good things with it. So tag a brother. So let me ask you a question. Honestly, with your goals, with your dreams, are you 100% all in? Are you willing to endure pain in the pursuit of it? Fuck, man, it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. Selling's uncomfortable. Business is uncomfortable. Marketing's uncomfortable. Personal branding is uncomfortable. Going out in the street, you know, going to those tallest buildings, it was uncomfortable. It'd be uncomfortable now for me to do it. But if that's what I was called or destined to do, I'd do it. Take a breath. And so I got my PT business booked, $3,500 a week or something like that from my PT business. And I was cranking. I was like, fuck, this is epic. But you know what? I discovered, created a new problem. I was all of a sudden, I was 60 hours a week. And I was like, I'm not made for working that hard. I realized, I was like, well, this is too much. Like the money's good, but my lifestyle's being knocked. But you know what it did? everything is always presenting itself for an opportunity for you to grow. And so instead of just, cutting back my hours, I was like, okay, cool. What's my next step? Where do I go from here? And for me, I realized I needed more leverage. I was reading a book called The Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki at the time. And he talked about like becoming a business owner. So I was like, I need to create a gym. So next minute, started putting in some plans and I opened up a gym. Now I won't get into that story. I'll save that for another day because I just won't get into that story, but I opened up a gym. Anyway, I did that for a while, realized that the energy became lost. I realized that I didn't have the passion for doing what I was doing. And I felt like I was just become a little bit bored by same thing every day, early mornings, late starts, same people. I was like, you know what? I need to spice it up. And I also want to travel. I want to like travel the world. And the PT business didn't really give me that lifestyle that I wanted, I could have like leveraged it out and had the gym running and so I could travel and things like that. Not saying it's not possible with that business model. But for me, I was like, I need to move on to something bigger and greater, right? And so one thing led to another and I got started in my online business. Now, commitment, the rich mode, is something that can come and go. Once you activate it, doesn't mean it's always on. You need to cultivate this energy. And so for me, because I'd had this like sort of habit of playing small and not really giving myself permission to shine and not showing up, and I lacked the confidence, my life was like this, up and down, up and down. And so I went into a bit of a downward spiral. And I guess I forgot some of the things that I'd learned and I wasn't applying them. And I guess it's like bathing. It's like, having a shower. You don't just like do something once and it's stuck with you forever. It's like you need to keep washing yourself. And so I also realized the power of events. This retreat changed my life. And so I got started in my online business, my Nagic business. And I was at this position called 4A, which is about 20 sales. And, you make about 10 grand or something on that journey. And I went traveling. I thought I'd made it. I was just like, you know what? I'm going to go. I had this dream to go and live in Sweden. So I packed up, moved to Sweden, went over to Sweden, came back, realized I was in love with Christy, my wife now, and came back, got together with her. And I wasn't really doing much in my business. And I'd sort of lost the mojo. But when I got together, once Christy and I had got together, she called me forward. And I realized through when I wasn't committed to her, our relationship was okay. It was okay. There was passion there and there was love and, it was nice. But once we committed, when I said, listen, babe, you're the one, let's be together. Like, I want to marry you. Something shifted. It opened up way more for me. More love, more connection, more trust. And so I realized with my business here, I was like, I wasn't committed. And I'm like, wait a second, like what if I apply that same commitment to my business? And so I put a ring on it, on my business. And when I was sort of making this decision to like become really committed, I got a message from my mentor, Balaj. And he said, hey bro, I want to support you to go to the next level in your business because it's going to support me to go to the next level in mine. Are you willing to get to work? I said, you know what? Like at the time I was really financially broken. I needed to do something. I really sort of lacked the confidence in myself, but I was like, you know what? I need to do something. And here's someone that has success. They're making good money. They're traveling the world. They're living a free life. And he's willing to mentor me. He was a brother lending a hand because he saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. And so we got to work and I realized I was hiding under the covers, wasn't trusting myself, wasn't backing myself, and I wasn't all in. Same thing, exact same thing. And this time, instead of going to retreat, I got a mentor, someone that was working with me daily. We were talking to each other every day, back and forth. I had a mentor. Someone was there on my side, someone that was a few levels ahead of me He had embodied a certain level of money and wealth and business and success in the area that I wanted to create. And so he was my guide. He was my guide. I was in his energy. I was in his vortex. I was around him. I was being, in his space. And he was just one step ahead of me. And he was supporting me. And I remember doing this post. And at the time, I was actually on like Centrelink, like welfare payments. And he did this post. No, I did this post because I realized I'd made more money in one day. I think it was 104 Centrelink payments. So like 104 fortnights I'd made more in one fucking day, right? Changed the game for me financially. And we did 29 sales in 6 weeks, and I hit this new position called 6A in my business. Then, as an incentive for myself for hitting that goal, I went to this event in Vegas. Met Balaj, my mentor, because he was in Canada. Went and met him in Vegas. I went to this event as a 4,000 person event. Sparked something within again. So are you really all in? Are you really committed? Are you trusting yourself? Because just because you don't have the results yet doesn't mean they're not there. It takes time. It takes being committed, showing up regardless, taking those steps, even when the results aren't there. Keep doing the do. Keep being the be. Keep being yourself. And be courageous. Like, reclaim your nuts. There's a lot of women on here, so whatever the lady equivalent is to that. But reclaim that power. And it's cultivated by showing up. Because once you start to show up, so one thing that I was like terrified at and sucked at was public speaking. Even doing videos like this. Terrified. I remember I used to live with this guy, Jace. And he used to always get out the camera and just go around and video people. I would just avoid him like the plague. I would actually leave the house. Oh yeah, got to go down and get some milk. See you guys. Whoop. Oh, dodge that bullet because I didn't want to be on video. Right? But through the action of doing the thing and learning how to get comfortable on the stage with the mic in front of the video, I had to learn to get comfortable within myself. So it's through doing these things and being committed and showing up and being courageous and doing the thing that it opens up neural pathways and portals and channels in your bodies, which then opens you up. Because let's say, you have a certain things that you need to do in your business, right? Every single week, right? If you don't do them, how do you think you feel at the end of the week? You beat yourself up. You're like, fuck, I need to do it. I need to do it next week. I need to show up. I need to do better. As opposed to, I get to the end of the week and you go, you know what? I did fucking everything I could. And I got results. Or maybe you didn't. But at least you'd feel better than what you did if you didn't do anything at all. So even just that, just honoring your own commitment, it's like, man, I did the best that I could today. Because I want to get to this life, to the end of it, and go, you know what? I fucking gave it everything I could to the best of my ability. So show up regardless. And allow yourself to feel. Like yesterday I was meant to do this training, jumped on my new Instagram. Turns out you can't do lives on new Instagram accounts. And I was like, you know what? Someone said, why don't you just go on Facebook? I was like, know what? I'm just going to give myself the space. There's a reason it's happening. I'm just going to pause. I'll be with it and I'll go live tomorrow. And here I am. So I'm not saying become some like crazy motherfucker that just, relentless action all the time. Give yourself space. Allow yourself to breathe. Allow yourself to feel. Let yourself off the hook. Give yourself a hug. So if it's okay with you, I've given you some value today. I'd love to share with you about my upcoming events because like myself, I realized how much of an effect live events, retreats, workshops, mentorship has had on my life. Like I shared that 7-day retreat I went to. I shared when I was working closely with Balaj, my mentor. I realized the importance of mentorship, of being at retreats and being at events. And so over the years, and especially recently with the Rich Mystic Man, I've been called and guided to run events to support men and essentially support men in a space where I feel I hadn't been supported for myself, and provide a mentorship, a brotherhood, a mastermind, a place where we can come together as men, where iron sharpens iron, and we can support each other. And I'm just, like I said, I'm a few steps ahead. I've walked the path. I've been through a lot. I've had to face off with many demons. I've had to overcome so many obstacles. I've had to learn so many different skill sets. And so with my work, the rich, the mystic, and the man, I've created an accelerated pathway for you to come with me in my vortex and be in my proximity whilst I support you to step up and step in and lean in to reclaim your power, your latent power as a man, and trust and leap and step into the unknown and get paid what you're worth and live free and have a business and a life that you can be proud of and create prosperity, which is more than just wealth. Prosperity is richness in all areas of your life. So the invitation is for you to explore my website where I have this offering. I'm going to drop it in the chat. It's called, put it in the chat here. So just go to my website, www.clintxmorgan.org/the rich mystic man. If you can't see it, the Rich Mystic Man, this link is on Instagram in my bio in the link. And I'm also recording a podcast here, so it's be also in the show notes. And I invite you to jump on there, watch the video, have a look, see if it resonates, and book in a call. Let's have a conversation. And I've got programs and offerings for different price points and budgets and different places where people are at. So I've got the Rich Mystic Man Mastermind. It's a 12-month experience. And this is for, people that are on that journey to six figures. We do have some higher earners in there as well. But for me, it's more of it's a starting point. It's for people that are like, they're starting out in business or they want to grow or they're stepping in. And there's a lot of guys, there's a mixed community. Some guys are, full-time in their business. Others are still doing it part-time, like a side hustle. Then I also have an online experience. It's an 8-week, it's an online experience. This is a lower price point, but you get to work with me. There's no live events. The other mastermind I was talking about has live experiences, in-person events, and this is where true transformation happens. But also the 8-week online experience, it's powerful. You're in that presence, and it's an accelerator. You get to be in that presence, and I'll call you forward and activate different aspects of you to really own your power and step up as a man. And then I also have, which I'll talk more about this tomorrow, but I also have an accelerator, and this one's called an incubator, the Rich Man Incubator. And there's an in-person element and there's an online element. And this is more for someone that's six figures and they want to scale to 7 and beyond. So if you're tuning in and you have a man, then pass it on to them and let them be in touch. Let's get this message out there. Let's support more men. Follow the link, www.clintxmorgan.org/the rich mystic man, and jump on, check out the video, have a read of the copy, and DM me, book in a conversation, and let's have a chat and see how we can support you and what's the best pathway for you to work with myself, the Rich Mystic Man, and be part of the brotherhood and community of like-minded men that are really doing some cool shit on the planet. So appreciate the guys that are jumping on. Thanks, Maddie. And thanks for showing up for yourself and being part of our community. You bring a lot of value and a lot of presence. And I appreciate your desire to really step up and do the work, man. So, and everyone else that's jumped on and has shared and tagged their men, much respect, much love. And I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Same time, same place, tomorrow, 10 a.m. Be there or be square. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about the journey from 6 to 7. If you haven't made that transition yet, jump on. There'll still be some value for you. But if you know someone that's a 6-figure earner and they want to scale and take things to a whole other level, then come on that journey with me tomorrow, where I share that. And I'll also share the offer that I have for people to work with me in this accelerated incubator to support men to go from 6 to 7 figures. Big love.
Sitting here watching the clock, I'm struggling, thinking of the bullshit that I've been juggling. Is there more to life than this? I'm thinking twice about the price I'm paying in this 9 to 5.